Hey guys, and welcome to another video. First of all, I just want to say I had sports day, hence why I'm wearing like this, and all of this were all in like house colours and everything, and it was really great. Anyway, so today's video is not going to be on exams because pretty much for everyone I think exams are over, which is brilliant. But if you are in year 12 like myself, you'll probably be moving on to something else which is a lot more tricky, and that is personal statements. Now for those of you who don't know what a personal statement is, the best way that I'll kind of say it is as if it's like a cover letter that you give for a job. And so the purpose or function of a personal statement is to persuade the university of your choice for you to be kind of like, hey, look, I am an incredibly passionate, interesting individual who's really insightful about this course, and I think I should be the right student on this course. And you're kind of persuading them to give you a place. Now, I am no expert in this, not at all. Literally, I'm in year 12, just like many of you, and I'm just starting this out. But I've read a bunch of things, and I thought I could give you guys some tips and advice and kind of like say how I'm doing on this massive journey of just like one hurdle on this massive process of getting a place in a university course. So what I have here is a really great sheet that my school gave me, and it's basically like a breakdown of what to include in your personal statement. And like I said, you don't need to kind of like go exactly by this, no way. Like, this is just one way that the school gave us, and I personally find this really easy in the way that they've broken it down. But I've read loads and loads of personal statements online, and they're all really different. For example, I was on the Oxford website, and I don't want to apply for Oxford, but I was just interested in what they would like for a personal statement. And their example one, like the exemplar, was so different to this, but it was still really great. So you don't really need to necessarily go by this, but this has a few like key bits that you should probably include, so I find this quite helpful. So your personal statement is going to include quite a few different paragraphs. First one being your opening paragraph. Now this is basically you saying, I want to study this course because of this. Now this is quite a short paragraph. For example, on this, the way they've written it is, I want to study X because, and there may be 3 or 4 lines of really just say, why are you so passionate about this course? Why are you willing to spend, you know, thousands of pounds and like years of your life in like dedicated to this course? And I think a general rule of thumb for the entire like piece is that your language that you use is so important. Do not just be like making it like really like casual and lousy. No, you want it to be really sophisticated. You want them to be like, wow, this is the kind of student we want. And so make sure that's something that runs through your entire piece. Also is like part of your like language is maybe using like specialist words, buzzwords that really are to do with your course, which make your entire piece tailored to your course. For example, with something like medicine, I don't want it to be making things like too generalized. I might want to be talking more about like the multiple like disciplines that kind of look at when you're working through like a situation in medicine, or the manual dexterity of the surgeons, and you know, lots and lots of those kinds of words that are so associated with your course. Try and like tailor the language of your piece to your course. It just makes it look a lot better. And so yeah, that's pretty much what your opening section is you saying, I want to study this kind of course because of this, and just a few kind of really concise reasons as to why you were interested in the course. The second paragraph is probably where the bulk of all your work is going to come down. It's going to be your biggest paragraph, and it's saying how you developed your understanding to kind of like choose this course at the end. And there are 3 kind of main points that you should probably be picking on here. First one being any work experience that you've done. Second one, any further reading that you've done. And finally, your third point, any like lectures or courses that you have attended. Do not freak out if you're like, I haven't done all of them. That's okay. Like for example, there are loads and loads of courses where getting work experience is so tricky. But you know, for something like medicine, I would say all 3 of these are pretty essential. Things like further reading can easily be done over summer. That's super duper easy. And something like lectures and courses, once again, can be done over summer quite easily. So in terms of work experience, my first point is just don't list it. Do not be like, day 1 we did this, day 2 we did this, day 3 we did this. Like, nobody cares. Like, great, you did work experience. Like, you know, the admissions officers don't just want to see that, they want to see what you've learnt from it. You want to be really reflective on your work experience. So you want to be like, you know, I was able to see this or do this, and that helped me learn about this. You know, you want to seem insightful. You want to seem that you have went through that experience, and you learned something, you gained some kind of knowledge that you wouldn't have already got if you hadn't attended that. And so you got to be really like, look at it in that sense, what you gained, what you got from it, as opposed to just, I did this, I did this, I did this, because it's not great. They're just going to be like, we don't care. So, and if you're like, I didn't actually do that much, what did you see? You know, and once again, be really respectful of kind of like things like privacy and confidentiality of patients. You can just call it like patient X or patient A if you are talking about like medicine. And yeah, that's pretty much everything in terms of work experience. Point 2 was all about further reading. Now, some of you might be like, I don't like reading, which is, you know, fair enough, but it definitely helps. And I would say if you can get yourself to read maybe 2 to 3 books about your course, like any topic to do with your course, it's really great. It shows that you have went out of your way, independently, chosen something to read, and it really helps your understanding and your knowledge of that course. And what a really good like tip that I would say is, if you're like, I don't really know what kind of books to read, not only are there like loads and loads on different websites, but if you want to specifically go onto the course that you want to study at that university, for example, if you're looking at like English or classics, go onto the course, go onto the university that you want to look at, and look at that reading list, or look at the texts that they study in the first or second year and read them. And then when you talk about it in your personal statement, maybe look at 1 or 2 bits or 2 topics or ideas that are explored in the novel or text or whatever, and talk about it. And it shows that you're kind of drawing upon these and you're already kind of preparing yourself for university. It looks really great, and it shows once again just how like passionate you are about that course. The final thing is any lectures or courses you have attended. Now, for example, I went and did a STEM course at Queen Mary's. I also have been to quite a few lectures from King's College. You know, there's a bunch of things that I can talk about. What I would say about this is, if you're like, I haven't been to anything yet, don't worry. I'm sure over the summer there'll be a heap of different things. And what's really great about this is that not only does it really like help you learn more about it, like the ones that I went to some lectures on being like a GP or being a paediatrician, and this is so great because you get to learn about what their days are like, and that gives you that insight into what it's really like. And once again, this is something that, you know, admissions officers want to see. They want to see that you have been independent, gone out of your way, shown that you're already interested. And come on, the fact that you're going to lectures already and you're in year 12 is great. It shows that how prepared you are and ready you are for that university like life. So definitely those 3 things I would say are pretty important to talk about. In terms of your third paragraph, this is not your shortest, it isn't your longest, it's kind of like your medium paragraph. And this is any qualities or skills that you have that aren't necessarily academic. So these aren't to do with your grades or anything. These are extra things like teamwork or leadership or being caring. And you might be like, I haven't done any of those things. I haven't got any examples, but trust me, you probably do. For example, if you did NCS, a bunch of those skills and lots more are like used if you did NCS. Maybe you have some kind of leadership role at school. Are you a prefect maybe? Or if you're a mentor, you can talk about that. Maybe talk about, sort of focus on like 3 skills that you personally feel like you have, and then you can give like an example of that. And then also that final step is linking it to that course, to any professions, and how that skill really kind of helps. And one thing that lots of universities say is make sure they're the relevant skills. Don't be like, oh, you know, I'm grade 8 at piano, like, how is grade 8 piano going to help you with this course? Like, is there, I mean, if there are links, make the links. If you feel like you're just saying it for the sake of saying it, don't do it. Don't do it. Only make things that you can see that specific skill is going to help you in that course, because it shows just already how qualified you are in that sense. And so yeah, definitely do that. I think that's pretty much everything for the third paragraph. And then you have your final bit, which is pretty much your conclusion, and this is where you want to tie it all up and bring everything to a nice ending. This is something that I find quite tricky to do. Like, I'm still like, what do I write in a conclusion? There are lots and lots of examples online, which I'm sure you can read about. This pretty much says, did you bring together all, like, everything together? Oh, also, can you, and like lots of people say, maybe put a statement of how you will contribute to the overall life of the university. Maybe say how you can offer those skills, those extracurricular skills that you have. For example, like me, I dance a lot, and so that's maybe something that I can maybe talk about, how that's something I can offer to the university. Or if you do debating, maybe talk about how you can offer that as a skill to that university, and how you will be a real credit to them. And also just ending it on a positive note. Maybe say how you're looking forward to it, or thank you for reading, I don't know, something like that. Just keep it on like a nice, so you want them to be like, oh, I like this person, interview list. You don't want them to be like, meh, not good. And that's pretty much it. Like, those are the 4 things. Remember, that's the opening one, developing your understanding, extra skills and qualities, and your conclusion. Those 4 things are pretty much, I know it's really basic, but those are the kinds of things that you want to be talking about. Nothing more, nothing less. That's pretty much it. A few general points. First of all, grammar, spelling and punctuation. So important. You know, universities really do care about whether you spell your or their right. Like that, those kind of basic things, you don't want them to be the reason you don't get a place. It's so annoying if that's the reason. One of my friends said a really good thing is actually getting an English teacher to read your personal statement, because not only do you want it to be like scientifically accurate to your course, but also does it read well? How does it come across? You know, get as many people as possible to read your personal statement, be it friends or family, anyone. You want to see, do you come across as someone who is enthusiastic and passionate, or do you come across as someone really dull and just like a robot? Nobody wants that kind of person on their course. They want someone who's really going to be on it and really passionate, and someone who's going to really be a credit to the course. Is it original? This is really important. Do not plagiarize. You might read someone's personal statement and be like, I really like that, I'm just going to copy a little. Don't do it, because I don't know exactly how it works, but I think UCAS have like this big kind of like bank full of personal statements, and when they get each one, they will like scan it, and I think if it's like 10% or more is the same as another one, they will just dismiss your entire application. Do not be that person. You know, it's okay to be inspired, or if you like an idea, sure, put it in your own words. Do not copy it. It's not worth it. I suppose my final point is, don't exaggerate and don't lie on your personal statement. If you haven't read that book, don't say you have read that book, because you will get found out, and you'll look like an absolute muppet. Like, they're going to be like, oh, what was that book about? I don't know, I didn't read it. Like, no, don't do that to yourself. Be nice to yourself, be truthful. Universities will definitely appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Obviously, like I said, that's just a template, that's just a breakdown of what my school suggests. You can do anything. Do definitely go out and research. There's so many videos and websites online giving so much like advice about personal statements. Definitely use all your resources that you have. And like I said, try and get as many people to read it. It's really helpful. They will probably notice a spelling error they didn't see, you didn't see. Or if somebody's like, oh, I don't really understand that, then that's good. That person could have the same kind of look on it as an admissions officer. So, you know, keep making drafts and drafts and drafts, and hopefully you will get to your finished perfect one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it has been helpful. I know it's me just being like rambling on, but hopefully it has been helpful. If it has, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do comment down below if you have any tips, or if any questions you still have about how do I do this, or what about this. Do let me know, comment it down below, and I will be answering it. Please do go check out my own channel, which is Bit of a Fangirl. I usually post pretty much every single week, and I just talk about my life and things like that. Also go check out my Twitter, which is @_Manisha P, or my Instagram, which is Bit of a Fangirl. And finally, go subscribe to the Student Room right now, because not only do I make lots of cool videos, loads of other people also make cool videos, and it's definitely worth checking them out. So yeah, that is pretty much everything from me today. I love you guys so very much, and I shall see you guys sometime soon. Bye!